The best way to start your day. This is Med in the Morning.
It's Med in the Morning here on Alive 107.3. We are just days away from No Surrender, the latest premium live event presented exclusively live on TNA Plus. It comes your way this Friday night into Saturday morning here in the UK, and it's going to be an action-packed and stacked card with matches including TNA champion Moose defending his title against former champion Alex Shelley in a title rematch. Giselle Shaw cashes in her Ultimate X opportunity. She goes one-on-one with the juggernaut Jordan Grace, and Josh Alexander takes on Simon Gotch in his TNA Plus debut. And speaking of people that have debuted on TNA Plus, at last month's Hard to Kill, AJ Francis made an impact laying out Joe Hendry, and since then there's been how should we put it, an escalating drama between the two. And I'm delighted to say I am joined by the newest member of the TNA roster, AJ Francis. Good morning, AJ.
How are you, brother? It's good to see you.
It's good. So I am psyched. I'm lucky enough to get to do these press interviews with TNA Wrestling superstars every month. But I have never been as excited about speaking to someone as yourself, because you have landed in TNA Wrestling and you have created such a buzz since you came in to Hard to Kill. I mean, let's be honest, AJ, but we'll talk about Joe Hendry in a couple of minutes, but one of the biggest free agents in the wrestling industry. How did your move to TNA come about? How did you know it was time to make that move and cross the line?
Me and Tommy Dreamer have had a good relationship for a long time. I actually was trained at the Team 3D Academy by Bubba Ray and Devon, those guys who obviously have connections with Tommy from their time in ECW, as well as, Busted Open. And like my probably best, like I say best friends, but he's kind of like my second dad, would be Mark Henry. And obviously he has connections with Busted Open radio with Tommy Dreamer as well. So, they put a good word in for me, and I've had a relationship with Tommy for a long time. And Tommy, put his neck out for me. Tommy was like, "Yo, just bring this guy in. If it doesn't work, we just did a one-off thing, and if it does work, then we can keep him around." And obviously, it went very, very well. And it went better. It went exactly how I expected it to, because I planned to a T how, like, I went and bought the laptop. I put the stickers on the laptop. Like, I made sure DJ Who Kid was there. Like, it went how I wanted it to go. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't think anyone expected it to get the reaction that it did. Me and Joe Hendry's feud right now has gone on right now. It's like one of the hottest things in TNA. So like, and I won't hold it against you being his countryman. He's the only Scotsman I don't like. Every time I come to Scotland, I love it. I had a great time in Glasgow. I actually, I believe the arena in Glasgow is called the O2, right? It's called the O2. Yeah, we had I performed there. It's great. And I was shocked to find out when we went out that night that Glasgow has a crazy hip hop scene. I was not expecting that. There was a nice couple hip hop clubs there out there in Glasgow. I was not expecting that. So, I got a special place in my heart for Scotland. I actually have my jacket here. This is the jacket I wear out during matches, my vest. And right in the front, you see that right there, Scottish flag, you know what I'm saying? I had a great time there.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's good to know you had a cracking time here in Scotland. Glasgow's got an incredible live music scene, an incredible wrestling scene. So it's a great fusion of everything. And again, when we found out you're coming to TNA Hard to Kill to debut that music video, everybody was getting excited about it. You create controversy, you can create buzz wherever you go, one way or another. And again, when you went in there, did you expect the reaction you got when you walked into the Palms in January?
Absolutely. People hate my guts, and I don't. I do a lot of charity work, and I'm a really good guy. I do a lot of things, but people genuinely hate my guts when they see me. And, I play into that. That's why wrestling is all about psychology and how you set people up. So, like, when I knew that I had him in the palm of my hand was after my very first line. They were already booing when I was coming out, which I was like, great, this is what I need, right? But when I come out and I say, everybody put your hands together for the legendary DJ Who Kid, and everybody starts clapping. They're like, yay. And then I go, all right, that's enough. It's not about you. It's about me. And the boos rain in. And right there, I got you in the palm of my hand. I got you right where I want you. And after that point, I can do whatever I want with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the biggest attribute that I bring to the table is my ability to control the crowd with the microphone. I'm not going to give you a 60-minute Iron Man match. You know what I'm saying? That's not my forte. That will leave those to the Alexanders and the Sabins of the world. You know what I'm saying? They're much better equipped to do those kind of things than me. But what I do bring to the table is the ability to control people's emotions and control the crowd and create a buzz and make people care. And that is just as important, if not more important, than the actual in-ring wrestling.
And I think what's been really nice, you said that about you have amazing mic skills. You have the ability, I would say, and many people, wrestling fans will know this, we talk about performers that can talk people into the arena. You're very much one of those, I think. And I think right off the bat, to put yourself and Joe Hendry in the ring together is a great way to introduce you to the TNA audience and widen the audience altogether, because we are getting classic scene-stealing moments, show-stealing moments since you've arrived. And I have to admit, I did kind of feel sorry for Joe. And I've got a soft spot for Joe, but if we look back at Hard to Kill, he came in there, thought he was being funny, thought he was being witty, but what you did was you instantly took that jovial, that fun attitude you had, and it just flicked like that. And you showed the power and the presence you had by taking him, 10 foot up in the air and slamming him straight down into the mat. And there was I'm not going to lie here, AJ, there was a vicious beat down you put before you just left him lying there in the middle of the ring. And you walked out of Hard to Kill. And there was concern for how Joe was going to be. Since then, this animosity, this situation between the two of you has continued to build. But I need to ask, what do you think it is that has caused this jealousy in Joe Hendry? I know what I think it is. I think it's down to the fact that he realizes there's somebody else in TNA Wrestling that actually has a greater musical talent than he does. Your thoughts on this, my friend?
I think you said it to a T. Is that like he is like Weird Al Yankovic. He's a great performer. He makes great songs, but they're parody songs. He's not a actual musical artist. And I think that's where the jealousy comes from. I think I was minding my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm the bad guy, right? But I paid my own time minding my business to debut my music video, and he interrupted me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. And so for him to do that, and then for him to come out as the good guy, all because he interrupted me and I had to show him that's not how we do things. I don't take lightly to my time being wasted, and I don't take lightly to people playing with my name. So for him to come out and do these things, it showed a lack of respect for me. And that's why me and DJ Who Kid had to take care of him. And since then, I've had to take care of him again. And I will continue to take care of him until he gets the message through his skull. Like I said, he's the only Scotsman I don't like. I love all you guys. You know what I'm saying? I had a great time with you guys. But that guy, man, he bothers me. He bothers me, and he tries to intentionally get under my skin, and he literally pops out of nowhere like Candyman, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
You mentioned that he just appears whenever you say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it right now.
Don't say his name.
I will not do that. But obviously, a fortnight ago on Impact Wrestling, the TNA flagship show, obviously, you were just minding your business. You were going behind the scenes. You saw Diener. Diener's been in a bit of a funk recently. You started to engage in conversation with him, give him a bit of a pep talk, seeing what he could do. I need to ask, because he that shall not be named got his stuck into that conversation. And then this past week on Impact, of course, Dina and Joe were set to go one-on-one. I mean, what is the relationship between yourself and Cody Deer? And what is the relationship? We'll start with that one just now.
Yeah, with Diener, I see a guy down on his luck. I used to be that guy. I see a guy who needs an opportunity to have someone to have his back. He just lost Big Con, and Big Con is a big man, and I'm a big man. I'm even bigger than Big Con. So, I saw an opportunity to try to help somebody out, and lo and behold, what happens? Joe Hendry sticks his nose in it. Nobody asked him to be there, right? And causes friction, causes tension. And somehow he's the good guy. Like, all I'm doing is minding my business, using my money to make sure that people get opportunities that they deserve. And Joe Hendry comes out cracking jokes and being in the way and getting his nose in other people's business, and the people love him for it. That's why I don't care what these people think. That's why I tell Rich Swann to stop dancing for these people, because at the end of the day, when Rich Swann was down on his luck, when Rich Swann had nowhere to turn, when Rich Swann had to pay his bills and take care of his family, these people didn't look out for him, okay? They didn't care until he came back around dancing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I try to look out for him. I try to have his best interest in heart too.
I mean, that's the thing. As you say, you're big-hearted, you're a big kind guy. You're just looking out for a brother.
Exactly.
This is what people need to understand. But I mean, I feel this friction, this is building, because now there's yourself, there's Cody Deer. Obviously, Rich Swann has stuck his nose in business where it doesn't need to be, aligning himself with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the question I have here for you, AJ, is we are yet to see you set foot in a TNA wrestling ring officially inside that square circle. Do you think we will see that debut come as part of a tag team, yourself and Deer, giving him a bit of a rub there, going up against those two, what can I call them? Dancing, singing monkey boys?
Yeah, the thing is, what about with the man Joe Hendry, man? Like, I don't care how I get my hands on him. It could be a tag team match, it could be a triple threat, a fatal four-way, a fatal five-way, a six-pack challenge versus the 7 deadly sins and the 8 wonders of the world. I don't care. I want to face this man, Joe Hendry, so bad. And yes, you will see my TNA debut in ring very soon. And I'm very much looking forward to putting Joe Hendry in his place. Now, if Swanee wants to get in the way, that's his own personal decision. He's a grown man. He can make it. I would suggest against it, but that's his personal opinion. If Deer wants to help me out, I tried to help that brother out already. If he wants to help me out, listen, he's more than welcome to. But at the end of the day, the only thing I'm focused on is Joe Hendry, and I'm going to get mine at his expense.
We cannot wait to see when that happens. Of course, you can catch all the latest TNA wrestling action in a variety of ways. Here in the UK, you can watch on TNA Plus, you can watch on Impact Ultimate Insiders on YouTube, as well as on DAZN 1 each and every Friday night. That's on Sky Channel 429. I'm speaking with AJ Francis. Don't go anywhere. Med in the Morning continues after this from Roxette.
Experience TNA Wrestling like never before with TNA Plus. Relive the moments that inspired a generation. Plus, monthly premium live events. Plus, exclusive monthly content. TNA Plus. You haven't seen anything until you've seen everything. Plan starting at just $9.99 per month.
That's Roxette and The Look. It's Med in the Morning here on Alive 107.3. Lee with you right the way through until 9 a.m. this morning. Delighted to be joined by the latest member of the TNA Wrestling roster, AJ Francis. AJ, you still with me, my friend?
Absolutely, man.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Loving this. Thank you so much for taking the time. AJ, if we can talk about you for a second. I mean, you are, let's be honest here, a dual sport athlete, a real athlete, former nose tackle in the NFL, transitioned into the world of professional wrestling. I need to ask, who were your sporting heroes in both fields growing up, both wrestling? Who's the person that made you fall in love with wrestling? And of course, who did you look up to in the NFL?
So when I first started watching wrestling, it was like 1990, 1991. I was barely 1 years old, and just like every kid around that time, I loved Hulk Hogan. Once I started to understand the business a little more, as I got a little older, and like understanding the art of the business, I loved Bret Hart. I loved Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, I told him this at his Hall of Fame induction. Rey Mysterio is the reason I started watching WCW. I didn't know WCW existed. I only knew about WWF at the time. And my buddy showed me, had brought over a VHS tape, just to let you know how old it was. He brought over a VHS tape of Eddie and Ray at Halloween Havoc. So I watched it in amazement. I'd never seen anything like that. So Rey Mysterio quickly became one of my favorites. And then, then it was the era of Stone Cold and The Rock. And The Rock was the reason, to this day, The Rock is the reason that I'm still in love with wrestling. The Rock is the guy, my all-time favorite. So I would say The Rock. And in like sports, I grew up loving football, loving basketball. I grew up during the Bulls, Michael Jordan days, so I loved Jordan. I loved Charles Barkley. I just thought it was amazing because Charles Barkley was like 6'4", which is shorter than me, and he led the NBA in rebounding. So that was like incredible to me, like that a man could do that. That's like a crazy feat of athleticism. In football, I loved Emmitt Smith. I loved DeMarcus Ware. I loved Reggie White. I love some of the greats there. In baseball, I loved, even though, my grandfather was huge into baseball, and he loved the Yankees. So, he loved Derek Jeter. I loved Derek Jeter. But like, I liked some of their rivals too. Like I loved Pedro Martinez, and I loved Manny Ramirez, and I love, so like, I love Sammy Sosa. So I grew up playing all sports really. My dad is a football and a basketball coach, so I was exposed to sports at a really young age, and I knew that I was a lot better than my counterparts at a really young age. And so that's like when I tell people that at 8 years old, I told my mom that I was going to go to the NFL and then go to WWE. Like that's exactly what I told her, and that's exactly what I did. 15 years later is when I got to the NFL, and then 6 years after that, I got to WWE. So it was something that I always saw in myself. So like to me, it's not shocking that I pulled it off, but to everyone else, they think that I'm crazy that I thought like that.
It's great. You mentioned obviously WCW in there, the great days of the cruiserweights,
Yep.
and I think really what we have in TNA wrestling is the natural progression of the cruiserweights
Yep.
in the X division. I need to ask the question. Obviously, you were at Hard to Kill, the TNA X Division signature match. Ultimate X took place at Hard to Kill, Women's Ultimate X, and I was blown away by some of the athleticism that I saw at that.
Yeah.
What do you make of the TNA X division?
I think the TNA roster as a whole is just incredible. And I think whether it's the women in the X division or Chris Sabin about to defend the title versus Mustafa Ali, I think that's probably going to steal the show at No Surrender. If I had to bet money on it, I think that's going to be a special, special match. Me and Mustafa go a long ways. We've gone back a long ways. And we've had some of the same struggles in this industry. So it's good to see him to get the opportunities he deserves. The women are incredible in TNA. The women go out and they put on some of the best matches every single night. I love the fact that you got, Tasha Steeles and you got Giselle Shaw, and even like Zaya just came on board, but she's great, and she's from across the pond too, so I'm sure she's a personal favorite of yours, and the Jordan Graces of the world go without saying, and there's just so many talented women on the roster too, but Masha and Kelly, and like the list goes on and on. So I love being there in TNA and just watching them. I'm a little jealous because I haven't had a chance to have my match yet. You know what I'm saying? I want to show that I can go out there and cook too. So I'm looking for that opportunity too.
We look forward to seeing that when it comes, and fingers crossed it will be very, very soon, either on Impact Plus Premium Live event or on the flagship show Impact. I know time is almost against us, AJ. There's just two more things I need to ask. Firstly, how important is your music to you?
Music is my lifeblood. I wake up in the middle of the night with song lyrics stuck in my head that I have to write down. I would never come out to my entrance music will never be something that I didn't create myself. Like I take a personal responsibility to the music that I do. That's why I have music with Chris Bay. That's why I have music with Montez Ford. That's why I have music with Leo Rush. That's why I have music with all the people in wrestling that really make music, because they want to work with me because they hear my music and they know, wow, he's actually like crazy talented. When people come and run studio sessions with me, I run them in my house. Like I have a studio in my house. I'm actually sitting in it. It's like a studio / game room. You know, music. I was a musician before I wrestled, before I played football. You know, so like music has gone back to middle school for me. So I love it, and I'll never stop it.
Fantastic, fantastic. And now, AJ, you might have, I was speaking to other wrestlers on the roster when you said you were going to catch up with me. They might have told you about this, but the one thing I love to do with all the superstars is play a quick round of the name game. I'm going to give you 5 names of wrestlers on the TNA roster, and literally what I want you to do is say the first thing that jumps into your head. Are you up for this?
I'm down.
Cracking. All right, so name number 1, PCO.
Oh man, legend. The man, I want to match with PCO like I need air in my lungs.
That would be amazing. That would be, I mean, just I think two amazingly athletic big men that can just do stuff that big should not be able to do. That is main event all over. That, do you know, in fact, that is money, my friend. That is money.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Name number 2, Jordan Grace, the Juggernaut.
Oh man, specimen. She is absolutely one of one. There's nobody like her, and she's a really good person, which I care more about too.
Name number 3, Eddie Edwards.
Oh man, icon. I used to watch Eddie Edwards' True Story in college. He used to be in Ring of Honor, and they used to tape all of their shows at Du Burns Arena in Baltimore. And I was in college, and me and my buddy Aaron Oster would go to every single taping. It was the first time I ever watched any wrestling that wasn't, WWE in my life. And so I would go there, and I was just amazed by him and some of the other guys there, like Kevin Steen, and going all the way back to those days. So like it was an amazing time, and I told him this too. Last time we had the show in Orlando, I was like, bro, I was coming to shows to watch you when I was in college, bro. Like, you're a legend. So yeah.
Fantastic. Name number 4, Mean Gia Miller.
She's great to work with. We did commentary together, and she is funny. Like she's really funny. She's quick on her feet. She asks kind of questions. She asks questions to like some of the questions she asked me, like I don't know they're coming, and they almost make me break character because they're funny questions. And so I'm like, you almost got me. You almost got me there.
Name number 5, the voice of Impact Wrestling, Mr. Smooth himself, Tom Hannifan.
I love Tom. I've been worked with Tom for years. I love him. I love how he sets up questions. Like I'm going out there playing a character, and he's when we do commentary, and he knows what needs to be said to progress the storyline, and he knows if he just sets up the question the right way, I'll take it from there. So it's like he's like my pitcher in the home run derby. He's throwing me softballs, and I'm just smashing them over the fence. So I love working with him and Gia. They're great, man. I hope to do it more often.
Fantastic. That is hopefully the first of many name games with AJ Francis. Of course, you can go back and watch AJ's arrival at Hard to Kill on TNA Plus, where you can also watch brand new episodes of TNA's flagship weekly show, Impact. Just head to TNAWrestling.com to subscribe. You can also watch brand new TNA Impact every week on DAZN here in the UK. That's Sky Channel 429 on Friday nights, as well as on Ultimate Insiders on YouTube. Of course, in the US, you can watch every Thursday night, 8 p.m. on Access TV. And if you're a fan of TNA Wrestling, show the world your love. Head on over to TNAmerch.com and pick up some great t-shirts, hoodies, and hats. Hopefully we'll get some swag, I believe is the phrase.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
AJ Francis swag there very, very soon. AJ, if people want to find out more about you and your music, how do they do that?
Just follow me on all social media at AJ Francis 410, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, everything. Everything is at AJ Francis 410. Everything's in my bio link. You can check out all my music, all my merch, everything that I'm doing, my plans going forward. So, it's a good time. It's a good time. I'm enjoying life, man. I'm enjoying it, and I'm very happy to be at TNA.
We love having you, and fingers crossed, AJ, as soon as we get those dates for TNA Wrestling coming back this side of the pond, we will bring it to our fans first and fast, and hopefully you will be over here and we can get you back out in the big smoke of Glasgow very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
AJ Francis.